Kombucha is a fermented tea, and it's made up with a SCOBY. The SCOBY contains yeast and bacteria, and the combination of the SCOBY, sugar, evaporated cane sugar, and loose leaf tea, you could add anywhere from 4 to 6 tablespoons of this tea. Okay, so I'm adding that to the hot water, 4 cups of boiling filtered water. So this is going to steep now for 10 minutes. And I'm going to put, I didn't bring the lid. Okay, so this is going to steep for 10 minutes. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes. Filter the tea, strain it out into a larger vessel. Or if you have a crock, which some people do, to ferment your tea in, you could do this directly into a crock. So we're going to take advantage of this hot water and hot liquid and add the sugar. So thank you. And dissolve the sugar in this hot tea. This is 1 cup of evaporated organic cane juice. So now, and there's...
Smells good.
Yeah. So just going to stir this up. Stir it up. Stir it up. We're going to stir it up. The next thing is we're adding cold water to this hot water to bring the temperature down, reduce it to 80 degrees or under. All right, thanks. That's fine, thanks.
And how much water are you adding to
We're
this?
adding enough water so this is going. It will fill this vessel to 3/4 full.
Okay.
So this should be the amount because this is what I did the other day. So another important point is the temperature of this liquid and the temperature of the SCOBY. It's important that they're the same, and they will be now that this is cooled down. So this tea is ready to be combined with
Beautiful.
in the vessel.
Why wouldn't you fill it all the way?
Well, when the liquid is fermenting, it could start bubbling in the fermenting process, and it could bubble over the vessel. So you want to leave enough room for air and for the breathing. We're going to cover this tea.
What are you covering it with?
That's a coffee filter.
It's a coffee filter.
Nice.
It's a coffee. You could cover it with any breathable material. It could be a napkin. It could be a towel. It could be muslin cloth. Your choice, just as long as it's not something that will prevent the breathing, the air circulation. Just to cover, at this point, it's just mainly to cover it so that there's no fruit flies or any foreign materials that happen to fly into the tea while it's fermenting. And so, like a golf ball that might come through.
Frisbee. Any of that.
A mini frisbee that might end up. Okay. Yeah. So the next step, and you can feel this. It's room temperature, right?
Yeah.
It's lukewarm. It's just room temperature, and that's what we're aiming for. Room temperature. So the next step is to place this kombucha into a darker area. It could be in a closet. It could be on the countertop, but you want to have it in an area where the kombucha can breathe. There's circulation, and it's not exposed to high heat. You want the temperature to be 70 degrees, approximately hovering in the 70-degree area.
Okay.
The lower the temperature, and here's a factor: the lower the temperature, the longer it's going to take to ferment, and that's with any fermentation process. The higher the temperature, you don't want to go too high, because then the tea won't turn out. Okay, so this kombucha's been fermenting for 5 days.
Wow.
So, and it will need, I would think, because of the temperature in the house and the season, it's going to need another 7 days. Why do I say that? Because I've made kombucha before, and I kind of know what to look for, and I tested it yesterday, and it's way too sweet. So that's really how I know.
Mhm.
Okay. So what we're going to do with this new kombucha is place it in a box, and I'll find another box for that kombucha, and then cover it so that light won't touch it. Day 5 or day 6, test the taste. You're going to do a taste test. If it's too sweet, it needs to ferment longer. If it's sour, start bottling.
Okay.
Because if it's sour, that means that the fermentation process has gone on a little long, and the sugar has really broken down to a point where you're on the verge of it tasting like vinegar.
Ooh.
Yes.
Not attractive. So if you've tasted kombucha before, and the likelihood is you have, if you're watching this right now, I'm assuming that you've tasted kombucha and you know what to expect in the flavor that you're looking for as you're testing. Now, once again, if you're using a crock, like a water crock, as we mentioned before, a high quality water crock, you can just open up, you can just press down on that little spigot and pour a little bit of that kombucha into a glass, taste it, and see if it matches your liking. If not, keep going, keep fermenting. Fermentation process is anywhere from 5 days generally to 12 days. It really depends. So this is day 5.
Yes.
So another several days at
Yeah.
least. I'll check this now every couple of days because I think tomorrow it's still going to be sweet. Maybe the next day will be ready.
Cool.
So that is the second step. Finding a box. Checking out the flavor. What's the third step?
Bottling, maybe?
Bottling is the third step.
Ooh.
Now, chances are your brew is not going to be very carbonated when at day 7, day 12, at least that's been my experience, it's not going to be real carbonated. It may be. But if it's not, and you like the carbonated experience, you can go ahead then, at that point, once it's ready to bottle, before it goes into the final bottling, which is a bottle like this. Let's see, I will hold these bottles up. The final bottling will it could end up in a bottle like so, which has you've seen these before,
Yes.
right?
Nice stopper.
The stopper, or it could be in a bottle like this. I will not give the brand name of this bottle. But what I've done in the past is I make my home-made kombucha and pour them into these sterilized, clean, store-bought kombucha bottles. Perfect vessel, perfect bottle for that.
Right.
Because
Yes,
you
right
want a
size.
bottle that has a twist top, and then once you place it in the refrigerator, it will still keep its effervescent, carbonated
Beautiful.
experience for you. So when you're ready to start bottling, wine bottle is a great container to go to the next step before the final bottling. Okay, so I'm not going to demonstrate because I don't want to take any out.
Right.
But what you do is just fill up the bottle to about, allow about 2.5, 3 inches from the top of the wine bottle. Again, for air, the possibility of, because the carbonation is going to occur,
Yes.
there's going to be carbonation. You want to prevent any accidents, right?
No explosions
No
in the closet.
explosions in the closet or in your home or wherever. So once you've poured your kombucha into your wine bottles, and I would say with this quantity here, it will be about 4 or 5 wine bottles, empty clean wine bottles with a cork, filled up, allowing about 2.5, 3 inches from the top. Place the cork like so. Not, it doesn't have to be super tight, but just enough so that there's breathability. Okay. Next step is, can you see this? Yeah,
We
there's a
can.
plastic bag.
Yes.
So we're going to put all these wine bottles
Behind
into,
it.
can you see this plastic? I don't think you guys can see the plastic bag. So I took a trash bag. I have a trash bag here. And I'm going to put all the wine bottles into the trash bag. All right. And
Right.
great. So we take the bottles in the plastic bag that's been twist tied closed and place the bottles into a cooler and close it slightly. Thank you for joining us at In the Kitchen with Lynn, and today it was In the Kitchen with Lynn and Friends. See you next time.